The little girl sat on the edge of her bed, her knees drawn up to her chest. She was crying silently, her tears dripping onto the worn carpet. She had been crying for hours, but she couldn't seem to stop. Her father had been cruel to her all her life. He had always been quick to anger, and he would often lash out at her for the slightest thing. He had called her names, hit her, and even thrown things at her. She was always afraid of him, and she never knew when he would explode. That night, her father had been especially angry. He had come home drunk, and he had started yelling at her for no reason. He had called her a worthless piece of trash, and he had told her that she was never going to amount to anything. The little girl had tried to defend herself, but her father had just laughed. He had told her that she was nothing, and that she would never be anything. The little girl was heartbroken. She didn't know what to do. She felt like she was all alone in the world. She didn't have any friends, and her mother was too afraid of her father to help her. The little girl just sat there on her bed, crying and feeling sorry for herself. She didn't know how much longer she could take this. The next day, the little girl went to school. She tried to act like everything was normal, but she couldn't stop thinking about what her father had said to her. She felt like a failure, and she didn't know what to do. At lunchtime, the little girl was sitting by herself when a girl named Sarah came over to her. Sarah was new to the school, and she didn't know anyone. She sat down next to the little girl and asked her if she was okay. The little girl started to cry again, and Sarah listened patiently as she told her about her father. Sarah was kind and understanding, and she didn't judge the little girl. She just listened and let her cry. When the little girl was finished, Sarah told her that she wasn't alone. She told her that she had a father who was also cruel, and that she had been through a lot of the same things. Sarah told the little girl that she was strong, and that she could get through this. She told her that she didn't have to be afraid, and that she would always be there for her. The little girl was so grateful to Sarah for being there for her. She felt like she finally had someone who understood her. She knew that she would never forget Sarah's kindness. The little girl's story is a reminder that there are people who care about us, even when we feel like we're all alone. If you are being abused by your father, or if you know someone who is, there are resources available to help you. You are not alone.